And leading up to tomorrow, President Biden signed an executive order directing the Department of Justice to review and declassify some documents related to those 9/11 attacks.
And this could shed more light on who may have helped the hijackers, 15 of whom were from Saudi Arabia. 10 Tampa Bay's Adoria Chumba looks into their ties to a wealthy Saudi family that lived in Sarasota.
The wealthy Ghazawi and Al-Hajj family lived in a home in this gated community behind me, and they have been at the center of questions in Sarasota surrounding the lead up to the 9/11 attacks. Some of the hijackers visited the family here multiple times, but the exact connection remains a mystery. But it's one that could be answered very soon.
We as a nation need to know what happened.
Garrett Lindgren was one of the firefighters who went towards the World Trade Center after the planes hit. He got there just after the towers collapsed, killing 2,977 people. Some of the 19 hijackers went under the radar, living in Sarasota County for months and trained at 2 flight schools in Venice. Lead hijacker Mohammed Atta, a Saudi national, was a frequent guest at the home and had access. He and another hijacker lived in Nokomis, while another lived in Siesta Key. The Saudi family then hurriedly left the country 12 days before the attacks. A moving truck came to get their stuff. The FBI also investigated some Saudi government agents who met with the hijackers. 20 years later, many details about the 9/11 attacks still remain sealed.
I think every responder that I know who survived 9/11 and their families, they want to know the truth.
There was a network that was supporting the hijackers.
Former Florida Senator Bob Graham led the Senate Intelligence Committee that investigated the 9/11 attacks. He previously accused the FBI of covering up a connection to Sarasota, the hijackers, and the Saudi Arabian government.
After having said that there were no documents about the investigation in Sarasota, no has now become 80,000 pages.
But several pages of documents released were missing or heavily redacted. President Biden hopes his order to review and declassify some of them would help settle the issue and give the victims' families answers. The Saudi embassy in the U.S. released a statement saying previous declassification of materials relating to the September 11 attacks only have confirmed the 9/11 Commission's finding that Saudi Arabia had nothing to do with this terrible crime. It is lamentable that such false and malicious claims persist.
I can't tell you who was involved, but apparently that information exists, and it's horrendous that it's been kept from the American people all these years.
And the DOJ has between 60 days to 6 months for the review process before they can start releasing any declassified documents.
Now, the attacks have led to some significant changes, from how you travel to influencing government policy. Let's take a deeper dive, because the efforts to find the people responsible were part of the war on terror, which boosted military presence in the Middle East. The government reorganized some key functions, once part of the Immigration and Naturalization Service, and created the Department of Homeland Security. Airports were cleared out, limited to travelers only. And there were added safety measures, including the creation of the Transportation Security Administration.